Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, how you doing? Back in the seclusion and the peace of my shop. Who would ever thought that a knife shop would be the quietest place to come to film? Okay, so today's knife, of course, is Troy's Bowie knife. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following the channel lately, I've never made a Bowie before. So this was a first. Now, Troy isn't the one that actually picked this knife out and designed it with me. A friend of ours, him and I both have a mutual friend, Rui. Rui's a former Marine, buddy of mine, and he wanted to give Troy a present. So Rui and I sat down, we talked a little bit about what he'd like, but Rui was pretty much kind of semper gumby in a way. He was like, hey, whatever, I'm good with whatever you think you can make, and any creativity that you have, you know, he pretty much left it up to me. So drew some stuff out, showed him some things, started making it. As I started making it, the drawings, as I've always told you guys in the past, if you make a knife, or if you want to make a knife, the first thing you do is paper. After paper, you go to cardboard, then maybe to wood to try to get. Well, we got to the point to where we skipped the wood and the cardboard part. We went from paper and we went into metal. The first design didn't work out so well, so I ended up changing it and making the one that we have right now. As well as Rui was picking out certain types of scales and material and stuff, and some of that wasn't going to work out really good, so we went ahead with what you're going to see here, and that is a grade A to grade B Cocobolo. Yes, I know, I love Cocobolo. I'm a big proponent of Cocobolo, Texas Ironwood, the E-Pace, and then a lot of your stabilized woods, because then I know they're really durable. Well, Troy's knife is a 12-inch Bowie, that Bowie inspired, even though I know Bowies normally have hidden tangs or rat tail tangs. Of course, my knife is going to have a full tang. I think it's a lot more practical. I like the look and the aesthetics because I like to see that tang go through the wood. It just gives it something of class. I like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I love hidden tang knives, the aesthetics of it and what you could do with the handle material. But in a practical sense, I like the taper tangs and the full tangs much better, especially with a taper tang. Now, getting with the taper tang is, because of the size of this knife being 12 inches, coming out of 3/16 by 2 inch by 12 inch CPM D2, I did not taper the tang as thin and as pointy as I do with some of the knives like my Montanas and my Rogues, simply because of balance. It was all of practicality. It's form following function, as my buddy Jeff would always say. And in this case, I kept the tang a little bit thicker, simply because of the fact that it helped balance and helped give the knife a little bit of weight. And knowing that the fact that it's 12 inches long and I've got like a 6.5 or 7-inch blade here, now what worked out really nice is I was actually able to shape the shoulders and integral handguard that this has. I didn't just curve at the spine and at the finger where your thumb and your finger would rest, but I managed to be able to curve the sides of the scale. So this way Troy could really grab into it with his two fingers here and really get in and choke up on it without your hand sliding forward and worrying about losing grip and cutting yourself. The other thing is too is usually Bowies have a very tall or a very wide integral handguard, both off the spine as well as the front of the blade. What I ended up doing is shortening the integral handguard off the back of the spine, because what you can do is you can grab up, you can choke up to it, and now you can make feather sticks and you can get a better grip and better stability. Instead of holding a knife like this, you know, like that, and getting into it, it allows you to put your thumb over the top so you get a little bit more control to make feather sticks if you're outdoors wanting to process wood for fires. Otherwise, again, like I mentioned, I left the tang slightly thicker than I normally would, but it still has a nice taper, which I thought was really nice. And this grade A to grade B Cocobolo, it's just phenomenal the way it looks. You can see I got this nice curved clip point on here. Not too extravagant. I did notice that some Bowies have a tendency of starting narrow down by the choil and getting really wide at the top and then curving. Well, that might be cool and all, and if I did like a standard leather sheath of some sorts with not much retention, maybe with a strap that went over it, that was one thing. But when you start molding Kydex, as you guys know, when you mold the Kydex takes to the form of the knife. And if I had a wider blade and a narrower blade at the choil, that would be quite precarious to getting the knife in and out. And I was kind of concerned with that, and I didn't want to end up fighting that battle just yet. I had some little knife gremlins haunting me on this build. So because again, it was my first one, and I was trying to get it all done within a certain period of time, so Troy could get, or Rui could get this to Troy. I did for the belt loop. I did my my regular traditional leather belt loop with the Kydex. Oh, and by the way, this isn't Kydex. This is that Holstex, I believe it is. It's that raptor skin. It makes it look like leather. I really like that. I'm a fan of that look. Again, it's got the same properties as my regular Kydex. It's just the aesthetics of making it look like leather, especially with a knife like this. It really fit well. Oh yeah, you know, again, the retention's right there. But I did the leather belt loop. I tooled it like I normally would, like I did my Montana and the Kingwood Rogue and things like that. I tooled the leather. I used my Eco Leather by Tandy, and then I went ahead and antiqued it, and then I finished it all off. Really nice though. Otherwise, I'm really pleased with how it goes. I might loosen the sheath up just a little bit. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I might loosen it just a little bit more. It has very good retention. But I do like the ability of being able to, you know, just maybe pull it out a little bit easier. But yeah, there's really not much else to say about it. It's really classy. I'll let the pictures speak for the knife itself. You know, there's not much I could say that couldn't convey what the knife looks like. It feels good. I'm really pleased with it. I don't think the handle is just the right size. If I had gloves, was outside doing stuff, I'd be very comfortable with this. It's at somewhere about 3/4 or 7/8 of an inch at its widest point yet. We got 7/8 of an inch at its width right here. And we should be at, yep, 1.25 inches, like always. 1.25 inches by 7/8, kind of like my Rogues and the Warriors are. But yeah, so Troy, I hope you like it. So I don't know if you even know who I am, actually, Troy, or even seen the videos or not. But if you ever see this video, I hope you like your knife. I do appreciate it. Rui, brother, as always, thank you very much for the support. And I already know how you feel about this knife, and I'm glad to hear it. So, anyhow, everybody else, I do appreciate the support, the likes, the shares, subscribes, all that good stuff. It always helps. Like I said, if you don't have a Gmail and you can't comment and you can't subscribe or anything, you can't interact on YouTube, I completely understand. If you could share this video or other videos that you like, either on Facebook or through Instagram or through an email, it greatly helps. You would be amazed at how much those little tiny steps help someone like myself, a creator like this. Anyhow, gang, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.